viewers. I am going to set the camera and get ready to sew Simplicity 9097. I'm going to be sewing this design right here. And notice how she has that lovely little lace on the bottom. Well, I'm going to be using this for the bottom, and it's going to be altered. Instead of a turtleneck, I'm going to change it live, and I'm going to give her a sweetheart neckline. So I'm going to be moving the camera. It might be bumpy, trying to be as careful as possible. And I'm going to move Miss Barbie over to the side. I will be bringing her in temporarily when I need to try her out. I measured this to 13 inches, oops, but I cut it a little bit larger because I wanted to save the flower. So I gave it a little bit more. So if you're interested to know, let's see here. Oh my goodness, she's going to have this part right here is going to be chiffon. So we are at 14 inches. So I gave it a little bit more. And this is our skirt. I went ahead and gave, oh, these are the bad scissors. I gave it the overlock serger. So it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more than the lace because when I sew it, I'm going to sew it right here. And this is going to be on the outside. So it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit bigger than what we need. So this is the skirt. I semi-prepared the chiffon. What I did here is I sewed the line, and I lost a little bit here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I will show you if maybe it fell because I used the tissue paper as a sample. Oh, here it is. This is the pattern for the sleeve here. So I fold it in half because it's easier just to do one continuous piece. And here we go. It's a little bit more than I need. And do you see over here how it's a little bit curvy? The chiffon moves when you have it. So it kind of moved, and that's why I did it a little bit bigger. And I went ahead and pre-made one top just to show you. Oops. Hopefully the camera it says to rotate it, but I really hope that we are doing good here. Anyhow, I kind of hit it there. So this is a pattern as it has it right here. Let me see here. Why do we have that I need to rotate the camera? If anybody's here, let me know on the chat. And let me know if that is okay. Okay, welcome. I still have that rotate in here, so I really hope that this is on. So it's not moving. There we go. That little, I had a message here. I had a message that was saying to rotate. So as I was saying, and sorry about that, the pattern is for it to be high up, and I'm going to be very careful not to move the camera. So I'm going to make it into a sweetheart neckline. So I went ahead and pre-did the darts on this one, and this is the pattern for the back, and I'm going to be using tulle. See, I think you can see it here. I'm going to be using tulle for the lining, and I went ahead and did the darts for the tulle. So let's get started with the hardest part, which is the chiffon. and I will show you how I work around or how I work the chiffon. So Barbie's going to be here to the side, and I'm going to bring the camera close. Okay, that's a good view. Right there. So here we go. A little bit of the thread came out, so let's just do the threading so that I can give you an idea or show you how to manage or how I manage chiffon. So make sure you have the thread, and I have it in tight. I have it in a tight tension. And the reason why I do this is because it has now structure. And I'm leaving some out here so that I could manage it. So there's a little bit of little fuzz over here, so I'm going to cut, because I'm going to cut some of it because it's going to be on the other side. When you fold it, I don't want too much to be there. I want it to be clean and uniform, so any little overachieving thread that is sticking out, I am cutting and making it uniformed. So overachievers, not here right now. And that's pretty uniform. So that is one of the things I like to do. So now I'm going to fold it and do another fold, and with the thread here, it's going to tighten up. And this is the reason why I have that little extra thing here. So now, this is the reason why on chiffon I do that little line and fold it. And if you have the little machine to work this, good for you. I don't, but this is helping me have a very good and easy way to do this, and this is a hack if you don't have those other machines, that little foot. So now let's go. And I did as much as I could there, and I'm going here to the end, and I'm folding it, and the thread that's already in there helps to keep it in place. So let's go some more until the end. And I'm keeping it in place, or trying to keep it in place, because I want to change my hand here. And there we go. I just sewed the chiffon, and now I'm going to rub it straight. So gently, just move. I'm moving the thread over so I don't have any bumps. And if you do, it's not going to be all that noticeable. So now gently just massage the thread through, and there we go. And let's measure it back with the pattern. And there we go, see? Almost where we need to be. So now that I have this done, I'm going to cut it in half. Right there. There. I'm going to cut it in half, and this is my 2 sleeves. I'm going to be eyeballing for my other scissors. Those are my good scissors. And I'm going to loosen the tension because the pattern calls for a little bit of a gather here. So there, I'm at the loose tension. Okay, and I'm going to give myself plenty of thread because this is what I'm going to need to pull. And I'm going to do the other one. Oh, goodness. Okay, need to give myself plenty of thread there. So now I have my sleeve to the side. So now on to getting the top. So here's the top and here is the tulle. And here is the back. There is a section over here in the pattern where you do the clipping. I went ahead and already did that. And I'm going to carefully put the tulle to the side and start sewing this. I made an extra copy. I don't have the other one, so it is straight. You might, if you have this pattern, you might have something here in the back for the, see that? For the back. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this so that it's even. So like I mentioned, I made this, so I'm going to make sure to sew it from here. And I'm going to tighten it a little bit, the tension. And I am going to give myself a sweetheart neckline. But first, I want to put this on. So I am measuring it to match right here. And oops, there goes my skipper. I got her with my ring. So now I'm going to do the same with, oh, I didn't even give myself a sweetheart neckline here, so it's okay. So now I'm going to be getting the tulle. You can't even see this. Oh, wanted to make sure, and I did say I wanted to be careful about this. I had it upside down. So I'm getting a lot in because the other one, where it is, because I want it to match. I certainly hope that you can see this. Okay, this is the bottom. I went a little bit over, so. These are two of the hard materials to work with. Tulle, because for the fact if you're younger, you will have better eyesight than me. And you see here, did we do this right? Yeah. I wanted to make sure that this work was all together. So when it comes time to do the sweetheart neckline, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now that I have this together, this is me making this into my sweetheart neckline. So I'm going to do my sewing like I typically do. And I'm just going to be hugging the neck. And of course, I'm going to be cutting it. But I want to be able to have this out of the way. This part right here. There, that's what I wanted to do. So now that I have that, this is me giving it a sweetheart neckline. Right. So I'm going to do away with this. But again, like I mentioned, I wanted to have this flat so that I can go ahead. So if you want to do it like this, I would do it. But let's get Barbie in here and use a pencil. And I'm doing this so that you have a visual. If you want to go ahead and alter, let me see, if you want to alter your pattern. So I am going to be trying to get a pencil. And I want it around over here. So I'm going to be pretty high. I want it to be around here. So I'm going to go here. And go here. And you can do this. This is your fabric. This is your idea. This is your design. So don't feel bad if you do this. After all, it's a little bit of fabric. We are talking about how much fabric. If it doesn't work out, this is 3.5 by 2.5. So it's 5 inches by 3.5 inches of fabric. Go ahead to your heart's content and design right on your fabric. And it is okay. It is yours after all, and it's your idea. So now I'm going to cut this. And by putting them side by side, it's going to be even. So let's look at Barbie now. Much better. And when I'm done sewing, it's going to be around here and here. I didn't take that much, as you see here. I did not take much from the collar part because we need that in the strap. So now that I have that, I want to go ahead and put the tool, and the tool is going to help me for the neckline. And it's also going to help me for the arm part. And you will see this plan shortly. So I'm going to get myself some pins. Hold this in place. I'm going to try to hold it in place by the seams, as you see here. And this is the part where I took in too much, and it's okay. But I am measuring here the tool here at the tip. And first I'm going to sew around the neckline, and then we're going to do the chiffon sleeve. So right now what I'm doing is keeping it in place. And one more. The top is always the hardest. The skirt is a skirt, so the top always takes more time, and the neck especially. So that's why I am doing this tool. So I'm going to ease it a bit over here. There we go. Because of the thread. And here are the darts taking place right there. Okay. I'm going to ease it a little bit more because the tool is giving me some resistance. So I'm going to loosen it a little bit there because it was giving me some resistance. And there we go. So now on to the neckline. And we are making this wedding dress our own. If you see a pattern, like any Barbie pattern, feel free to do your own design. And I am hugging it here very closely because that is our ruler. And that is going to make it even on both sides. Alright, there we go. So first thing is first, which is the neckline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over facing front. And after I look at how it looks like, I am going to sew it into place so it doesn't fold over. So we're going to take these pins out right now and ease it right now. Tool is really good. It could get frustrated for a beginner, but if you anticipate that it's going to be frustrating, go ahead and try it out anyways, because it's the only way that you'll be able to sew with it. And same with chiffon. If you get frustrated with it and you don't do it again, then you'll never be using this material. So I am turning it around. Oh, and look how beautiful this looks. So now let's get Barbie and try this on her. Right now, it's some of the tulle might be peeping out, but oh, look how beautiful this is. Much better. So now that I saw and it looks good, what I'm going to do is sew the tulle, give it some reinforcement, and keep it in place. So we're going to go working around it. And very carefully. And you have to have the white, the outside part, facing this way. You want to connect both pieces together like this, and this is going to give your strength, so it does not flip over or flip around, and that way you don't have to sew on the outside part of the fabric. And I will show you right now. Okay, so I gave it that sewing, and look how easy it flips around and it stays in place. See that? I am not struggling. And after we're done, we're just going to iron it down, and we are done with that. So now we're going to do the sleeves. So here's one, and I'm going to gather this, and I'm going to pin it in the middle part right here. And when I'm done sewing this together, I'm going to cut it, and in where I sew this part together like this, I'm going to put fray check. This is my fray check. I'm almost out, and that's going to keep it firm and it's going to stop it from fraying. Look how much fraying we already have right here, right now. So let's me see. And you want to make sure that you have the outside part over like this. So here we are. And I'm going to put the pins. This one here to keep it in place. And I need to pull a little bit more. And it's better to gather it instead of like doing it by hand. Sorry about that. Some of these are dull and I don't want to pull on the fabric. So I have my little thread here and I'm going to be pulling. There we go. And there is the middle. So I'm going to sew this part now. And the magic is happening now. This is the fun part about sewing. When you have the hard parts done. And I have most of the gather here in the middle. Or actually the middle front, which is this. Because you want to see more action here. That was my hitting it. And we have all this little mess here. So it is okay now to go ahead and even this out. And if you're using chiffon, it's okay to put some on this end. But I can't do it now because it's going to stay wet. So after it's done, I'll go ahead and put it on this side. So look how beautiful this looks. This is our sleeve. And now for the other part. So here we're going to do this again. Pull from the edges and start the gather. And like I said, I like to have it here in the middle. It's always better to have more gather than not. And I made sure that the outside part is facing the fabric. So you want to have the outside part of the fabric facing each other. And I am twirling it. I think you can see that because I don't want to pull. This pin is good. This one is nice and sharp. It's too sharp actually. The other one, this one, is a little bit dull. So I want to put more of the gather in the front. And same with the skirt. I always want to put more of the gather towards the front because that's what we're looking at. And we really don't see the back part of any doll of a skirt dress. So right now this is the ruffled sleeve. So I'm putting more of an emphasis in the front. And after this, we're going to be smooth sailing. And I don't know why I do this, but I literally hold my breath. I was holding my breath. Let me know if you do that on these hard things. I was literally holding my breath, and I do that not consciously. I do that subconsciously. I wanted to mention that to you. So here it is. And we're going to sew right here and keep it down. So there is going to be outside sewing, and I rather do it from the inside part to make sure that I keep all these little pieces in so that they don't go outside to peeking in the front. Okay, there we go. And let me show you what this looks like. Okay, that's what we have. And it's not going to be facing. And then when I do the tool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over and hand sew this in part right there. So now with the other side. So this is what we have, and this is the finished part, and this is what we have over here. Well, I don't want this part to be showing, so I fold it in like so, and let's do it this way, the opposite way, and you decide which one is easier. This is probably the easiest way, but I wanted to show you both ways. And fold it in. So this is the only thing about doing it this way. You got to make sure that you constantly fold it in. So I just saw some coming out, and then go. So now for the moment of truth. We're going to connect both sides of the fabric together and the sleeve. See here. So a little bit of the tool got stuck in there, and I'm going to cut it, and it's okay. And I want to connect, very important to connect the sleeve. And the front part. So there is a dart here going this way. So I'm going to sew like this, out from here and out. And there. Well, that was me. So I'm going to go slowly here. Okay. And take that out. And move this. And since chiffon is notorious for moving, I am going to, since I have this here, I'm going to massage this up and get a little bit in there, like so. You won't be able to see it because that's going to be in the armpit. Okay, so this part here, I'm holding my breath again. I do it. So this part here, I'm going to put the fray check after the dress is done. And let me massage it, because that's what happens. I'm not going to cut too much. After I put the fray check, I am going to clean that up. So that's one side, and now let's do the other. And the inside part of the tulle, I will do that after. I will do that away from the camera. Let me know if you want to see it now. I'll go ahead and sew it, but I'm going to be hand sewing that part. So now we're doing the opposite. So I'm starting from the bottom, from this bottom of the sleeve this time, and going upwards the blouse. Okay, there. I'm going slow because I have the pin there. Don't want to lose my, and I'm going in because of the dart. There is the dart right there. Right here, and that's where my needle. That's where my needle is at. And this is the dart. And now I'm going to go down. And we're going to try this on Barbie and see how it fits. And just a little bit of getting this straight here. And I'll do this part later. So let's try this on Barbie. And I have to do this very gently because we are working with chiffon and I don't want to pull. I'm so gentle here. And let's see here. I'm going to clip it a little bit more here. And this one is fine. And I have my dog here. She is very quiet. She's just precious. But my cats, one of them is here and she's sleeping. So if at any moment she wakes up, I'm going to have to take a break, a little break, and put her outside. So here we go. Let's try this on Barbie. And like I mentioned, this is the hard part. I will work out the tool later. All right. I'm just being as gentle as possible, and by that I mean slow. Okay, there we go. Isn't this so beautiful? Here is her little chiffon sleeve. Here is our sweetheart neckline. And this is the back. We still need to do the back. But this is an indication of what we have. And now for the skirt. So here is our skirt. I'm going to do the gather, and I'm going to add the skirt. And the reason why I'm going to add the skirt first, well, I'm going to add the skirt is because I need to see the length of the skirt, and then add the lace. Oh, we're gonna have to do this again. I ran out of lower thread, and I need the thread to go all the way across. So I'm gonna take this out. Okay, and I'm going to add the thread right now. Nothing. So let's put that there. And bring my other one. I have enough. I have enough to finish this off. Alright, so let's do this again. This pattern calls for an empire waistline, and they were very popular. Empire waistline peasant dresses in the 70s. And let's take a look at the pattern again. Let's see here. I have it protected on a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to take it out so you can see. So it has an empire waistline. And that is our inspiration right here. And the bottom. I like that purple dress and the vest. So I will do that eventually. Not now. So let's look at Barbie here. And we're going to start around here because of the material of the foot. And this is the bottom. So I barely have enough to fold it. Let me fold it here. I'm going to put pins on it to give me an indication. And then after I do the hem, I'm going to add the trim. Oh, I don't want it to be too short. And I don't want it to be too long. So let me make sure that I have it equal and even. And there we go. That's good right there. So now with that ruler, basically, it's like a ruler, I'm going to do one more so that we can have a beautiful gather in the waistline. Because since it's so high, this thing got really twisted here. Darn it. I'm going to have to redo it because it's easier just to start fresh. Alright. I don't know how that happened. So I am going to do the other one close enough here to the other one. And it's always good to have enough. And to have 2 rows here. So now I'm going to start by doing the gathering and get started. And after this, we're going to do the fun part of putting the lace on the hem. And I'll start from this side because it's kind of tricky on the other side. Alright, so I have the bottom and the top together. There we go. So here we go. This is easier to do the 2 rows, and it gives such a pretty gather, and I am very careful when I'm doing this so that my threads don't snap off. You don't want to do that. So since the other side is tricky, I'm going to go all the way to that end. And it does create tension. I may need to do a little bit on the other side because we need very little waist here. We need a little bit, and it's getting really hard. So let me try the other side. See if I could get these pieces here. Okay, I think I have it here. All right, there we go. Oops. Alright, that looks small enough. I may need to pull a little bit more. And I'm going to take the dress from Barbie and we're going to start to sew. Let me see here. I have pins and such in here. I have my other pins holding. Alright, let's see here. Alright, it's really good. So now I'm going to sew this on. And I do it from this part, this side first. And I want to make sure that this is on the outside part. These are the darts. I don't want the darts to be in the middle, so I move it to the outside. And here we go. After I do this, I will need the thread zipper, the thread ripper, to take any, let me see, I thought I saw, oh, here it is, yeah. I'm going to use the thread ripper to take out some peeking, I'm going to type this up, some peeking thread. Alright, let's see. Look how pretty this is. And I want to make sure that there is nothing outside. And now it's time to do the hem. And it's okay to do a large hem because we're going to be putting the sequin lace now. And the sequin lace, I am going to measure this. I put it right in the middle. So we want to get the middle part. So I folded the back in half. And I'm going to put a pin here. And I'm going to get my lace right here. And I'm going to put a pin in here as well, in the middle, so that we know this is the middle. Look what I brought. Alright, so here goes. Alright, there we go. And not bad. Look at that. I wanted extra over here because of the pearls that you see there. So I am going to sew this on. Alright, so this is, and there's a pearl over here that might fall. So let's do this like a little run through. Make sure that everything is down flat. And I am going to get started by sewing the bottom. And when I get to a purl like that, I'm just going to go over and jump. So can't help it over here because it gathers like that. And this part right here is where I'm going to jump. And, oops, there comes the sequin part. So with sequin lace, sequin material, it's just, you need to be very careful. And since I have some sewing to do on the top, I'm going to do that right now. And I don't understand why, oh, there we go. I was going to say, oh, here's the little purl that came out, so I'm going to save it here to the side. The one. And now the top. The pattern called for a circular skirt. I made a straight one because of this reason. Oops, there is a black thread in there. Okay, and there's a red one here. Now it's time to connect the skirt in the back and we will be done. I went ahead and did the overlock serger on this end. And the other side is the end of the bolt or the end of the material, so I won't need to do anything or much right there. And what I'm going to do is take lace and fill it in the back for the part where we have a gap. And now for the finale of putting this on Barbie. After we are done, I'm going to do her bow, her bouquet, and I'm going to be doing the serger. Well, no, yes, I'm going to do the serger over here, and I'm going to do this part, which is the tulle. Here is the gap. I'm going to put lace in here. Let me give you an idea of the lace, if I can find it. I put it to the side. So get me a piece of lace and put it in there. Maybe the other side where I don't have this flower, and then just add it there and see how even close up it's not even noticeable. So I'm going to put a piece of lace there. And now to get this on Barbie. I have another Barbie's veil. This is a Mattel Barbie, so I'm going to put this on her so that we can have a beautiful look at our Barbie bride. And let me see here. So let me put that there. I am dressing her away from the camera. We have a blushing bride. And I'm going to hold it with pins in the back for now until I have the, see, I'm being very gentle, if you can remember, on the sleeves. And just being very gentle, putting this on her. Okay, here we go. And it looks like this right now, but it will get all this we have with sewing cotton. All this extra threads. And I'm pushing this part that we're going to take care of with the serger. We're going to do that later. So here's the dress. So this is what you normally see when the dress is finished. Except for the pin in the back, of course. And I'm going to put the veil on her to help us with our Barbie. All right. So I'm going to put her here and adjust the camera so that we can see her. So I think mainly right now you get to see the bottom. And she's absolutely beautiful. So let's do the final little view of Barbie. And there's my Halloween little stash over there. Just beautiful. Thank you for joining me on this live as we made our 70s dress for Barbie. And going over here down in with what the dress looks like. Having this right here gives it a very beautiful firm. You can see how firm this is. And it's giving her a very beautiful firm look. And the empire waistline, which comes a little bit above the, I'm gonna, here we go, adjust so that you can see that pretty little gather there. And the chiffon little sleeves. It's about an hour, but it did take me longer doing the cutting and the arranging and the darts, which the dress was already preset with the darts both on the outside and the inside. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing for more live streams, for more tutorials, more doll videos, and extra. Take a look at a playlist so you can see what this channel is about. And I will say goodbye and see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.